a strong opening that strikes the center and offers several strong follow-ups. A dynamic, flexible response. Black is opening up avenues for the dark squared bishop. Jumping the knight into the game, attacking the pawn, and defending the center. A solid response for players of all skill levels. Quick development, threatening the knight, and a chance to castle early. This forces the bishop to decide exchange or retreat. White safely retreats the bishop while keeping pressure on the knight. Black attacks the undefended white pawn and develops the knight at the same time. Castling gets the king out of the center and prepares to develop the kingside rook. This develops the dark squared bishop and prepares to castle. d3 defends the e4 pawn and allows the dark squared bishop to develop. This stops the opponent from being able to win a pawn by removing a key defender. Solid. Continuing with standard opening theory. Both kings are castled and ready for the middle game. This is a book move, meaning it follows established opening theory, played by top players for years. Textbook play so far. This creates luft for the king, providing it an escape square. The bishop is kicked by a pawn and must now move or be captured. This moves the bishop to safety. Moving from its starting spot, the bishop gets involved in the game. White develops the bishop and supports the center. With this move, Black fights back against central space. White develops the knight and supports the center. This creates luft for the king, providing it an escape square. This move takes away Black's chance to open the center. Very strong play. That's fine. This move steps the pawn out of danger and keeps material balance. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. After all captures, this is an equal trade. A straightforward recapture. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. This is an equal trade. A clear recapture. This move puts the bishop on a safer square. The better move was to take an outpost with a knight. This allows the opponent to take an open file with a rook. This threatens to capture a pawn and win material after the follow-up trades. This protects the attacked pawn. White develops further. Right on target. This is the strongest option. This attacks a rook, winning a tempo when it moves away. This calmly removes the rook from an immediate threat. The rooks can see each other now, allowing them to provide mutual defense. This moves the bishop to a more active square, making it gain scope. This loses a pawn. This creates a counter threat against the queen, as opposed to retreating. This moves the queen to safety. Capturing while sacrificing the rook was the right idea. A straightforward recapture. This leads to losing a bishop. This misses an opportunity to capture a pawn and win material after the follow-up trades. This moves the queen to safety. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. This takes an open file, a common method for activating a rook. The piece finds a new active square. One of the best moves. A straightforward recapture. This move steps the rook out of danger and keeps material balance. This is a nice tactic found in time trouble, which will win a pawn. A clear recapture. That pawn was free for the taking. The best option was to defend a pawn that was under attack. This permits the opponent to win a tempo by threatening a bishop. This wins time by threatening a bishop and forcing it to move away. This removes a knight that was threatening to win material. A clear recapture. That was a free pawn. This move steps the pawn out of danger and keeps material balance. This move steps the rook out of danger and keeps material balance. A solid choice. The rook is now on an open file, which helps control squares across the board. That was a free pawn. By moving to the 7th rank, the rook becomes active and hard to ignore. This move steps the bishop out of danger and keeps material balance. This calmly removes the rook from an immediate threat. This threatens to win material through a fork. This stops the opponent from being able to win material through a fork. White finds a pawn-winning tactic with just seconds to spare. Great find. This was the only move that works. This move steps the rook out of danger and keeps material balance. This is a nice tactic found in time trouble, which will win a pawn. A clear recapture. That pawn was free for the taking. Very strong play. This move puts the bishop on a safer square. This pins a bishop to the king. This defends a bishop that was under attack and had no defenders. Black finds a pawn-winning tactic with just seconds to spare. This evades the check from the rook. One of the best moves. This creates a counter threat against the bishop, as opposed to retreating. This move reaches across the board to win the bishop. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. A strong choice. This move puts the knight on a safer square. This puts the rook behind the other player's passed pawn. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. That pawn was free for the taking. This is a fair move. This activates the king in the endgame by getting it off of the back rank. That's fine. A solid choice. This move steps the pawn out of danger and keeps material balance. Right on target. A forced move, no other option on the board. This is the strongest option. Very strong play. Black finds a pawn-winning tactic with just seconds to spare. Recaptures. That was a free pawn. One of the best moves. This evades the check from the knight. A solid choice. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. This is a fair move. This evades the check from the knight. A strong choice. Right on target. This blocks the check from an opposing rook. This is not the right idea. This is the strongest option. Giving up the exchange leads to a strategically unbalanced position. That rook was free for the taking. Black eliminates the white's passed pawn, removing a future threat. A strong choice. Right on target. This is the strongest option. A strong choice. Right on target. This is the strongest option. This is an equal trade. The game ended in a draw by insufficient material.